निवासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते.
And I don't think they are really going to change everything. At least they are not going to change it officially as of now in this coming mysterious parliament session, special parliament session that's about to happen. But a sort of discourse has been now started. Officially from the government side also it has been triggered deliberately. चलो अब तुम लोग लड़ो अपने में, debate करते फिरो, and let's see who wins. Let's see which voices become the strongest, because we are probably going to make it. We are going to call our country Bharat sooner or later. But as we coincidentally discussed just on last night's live stream only, that if at all we do end up naming our country Bharat, it has to be right now. Right now we are at the best spot of our economic developments and all the great things are happening. So if it's done sometime later on when our economic growth does slow down, it's not going to be perpetually 8%, 10%, right? It's someday going to get down to 4%, 3%, 5% again. Like USA has never seen GDP growth rate higher than 4%, but they got onto the party so early on. For example, our Islamic invasions are still going on in the 1700s, okay? And Adam Smith is writing Wealth of Nations in 1776, the year USA becomes independent. So they were obviously early to the party. So even though they did not grow at more than 4% ever in their history, even then they are a $23 trillion economy, even though they have debt of $32 trillion. So we are a $3.75 trillion economy and our debt is about $624 billion. But anyway, when someday we do become economically a bit of a weaker country, maybe one particular prime minister is screwing some things up, maybe inflation suddenly goes up to 20-30% because someone or the other is screwing up in the government. I don't want Bharat to be a band-aid for those days कि चलो और कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, ले लो थोड़ा नाम वाम ठीक कर देते हैं, have fun bro. Like what's happening in मध्य प्रदेश, एक के बाद एक रेवड़ी अनाउंस करते ही जा रहा है, ये टेम्पल कर देंगे, वो टेम्पल कर देंगे, राम लोक होगा, उज्जैन महाकाल होगा, बेटियों को पैसे देंगे, बहनों को पैसे देंगे, मगर वोट तो नहीं मिलने वाला है बीजेपी को, ऐसा लग रहा है so far. तो चलो it's a last ditch attempt of BJP. For example, in Turkey, they are having an 80% inflation, okay? और हमारा inflation है about 6%, 7%, which has always been for the last few years it has been the least in the world. But in the middle of that 80% inflation, Turkey decided to rename their country Turkey. So that was obviously a band-aid just to keep the masses happy, the stupid natives happy. We should not have naming of India as Bharat as that sort of a stupid lollipop, okay? It should come right now. But I did see some interesting counters to the idea of India being named Bharat. I don't care what commies say. Two of my own viewers, Monica Ganguly and Niner, said something which we are going to discuss here, okay? They said why they are opposed to the idea of renaming India as Bharat, okay? Let's check out their comments. Both the comments are here, okay? Both interesting criticisms. Monica Ganguly said, I think it will help the India alliance. They will say that look, Modi fears our alliance so much that he has been removing India from constitution. Well, they will say it because after all, the job of a politician is to say anything and try to get away with saying that. But their voters who are already stupid enough to vote for them, they are going to vote for them no matter what. It's not like they are going to make this particular argument and gain some extra new voters. Okay, that's why I'm not bothered about this particular thing happening. Even if it does happen, it won't matter. Neener says, Dada, you should keep making predictions like that one guest on Jaipur Dialogues. On a lighter note, I hope this doesn't pass because I feel it is nonsense personally. India is equal to Bharat in English, name given by outsiders to call us, not even derogatory, but just their civilization's perspective for us. Bharat is equal to Bharat in all languages, named after our legendary Raja of whom we are descendants. Yes, descendants of the Bharata tribe. When we are accommodating Bharat into English, then we are accomplishing nothing but making English Indianized and creolized, that is making it a nonsensical mixed language, which is inevitable kind of. Indians need to know their mother tongue to understand the etymology and significance of the word Bharata, not in English, which will make them think, oh, it's just another word, no real meaning. Rather than this proposal, why don't we stop government's functions in English entirely? Can pick one language each from north, east, west, south and use them along with Sanskrit as official? Why bother changing words in a foreign language that we are going to disown in the future anyways? Or is the BJP planning on retaining English long term with this? I hope not. We just need to stop using India when we speak Hindi or Bengali Bengali or other Indian languages and replace that with Bharat. One more fact, 99% foreigners can't pronounce the H in Bharat. Yes, that's of course Bharat. It will always be Bharat. So why create more confusion for them? I think this proposal is not good. So my disagreements to this are, in Bengali, in basically in all Indian languages, we all generally by reflex action only, we already say Bharat only. In Bengali we say Bharat or Bharat Borsho. No one says India in while speaking in Bengali. Okay, I think some anglicized Bengalis do say it these days, but it's not very common. And it's said in Bangladesh as well. Bangladesh में भी India बोलते हैं, not Bharat. क्योंकि उनको हर चीज़ में जलन होती है कुछ संस्कृताइज्ड वर्ड यूज़ करने में. एंड अदर देन दैट द लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी वेदर इंग्लिश विल बी एक्सेप्टेड और रिजेक्टेड कंप्लीटली, दैट्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग गेम, you know, right? It's not happening anytime soon, making Sanskrit official language, etc. One of my shorts which I made about 3 weeks ago from a live stream which we did about 1 or 2 months back, that has recently gone basically viral. Okay, I'm gaining huge numbers of followers because of that one particular short. It has gained about, and it didn't go viral in the first week. In the last 1 or 2 weeks, suddenly it has gained 3.3k views. Okay, which was my idea that how to make Sanskrit the official language, which is let's get a 20-25 year arbitrary time frame. So make compulsory Sanskrit learning from when they are in upper KG or class 1, whenever they begin learning any language. Eliminate हिंदी वैसे भी मूवीज देख के सीख लेंगे, नहीं भी सीखे तो क्या आ गया. नॉर्थ ईस्ट में हिंदी ज़्यादा किसी को आता नहीं है, तमिलनाडु में तो मैंने सुना है कि नहीं आता है किसी को. अगर नहीं आता है वैसे भी बिना हिंदी के चल रहा है तो चलने दो. इंग्लिश लगेगा थोड़ा बहुत बिजनेस के मामलों में, और ये जो ट्रांजिटरी फेज है उसमें भी इंग्लिश में हम बात करके चला लेंगे. But let's start the journey towards Sanskrit by having then Sanskrit mother tongue and English, not Hindi. So in that also there were pretty insane, hilarious criticisms, but there are criticisms so far for making even Sanskrit, right? हिंदी में तो एक्सक्यूज है कि नॉर्थ इंडियन काउ बेल्ट का भाषा सबके ऊपर थोप दिया. संस्कृत में तो वो एक्सक्यूज भी नहीं है, फिर भी एक्सक्यूज बना रहा है. एक आदमी ने आज कुछ देर पहले ही कमेंट किया कि फर्स्ट मेक श्योर दैट एवरी किड हैज बेसिक एजुकेशन, देन मेक संस्कृत द ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज. तो ये इमोशनल कॉमी आर्ग्यूमेंट तो मेरे कान से फिल्टर हो जाता है आजकल. आई गेव हिम सम ट्रोलिंग रिप्लाई एज वेल. बट एनीवे, सो यू सी, even Sanskrit is going to have some hilarious, basically people who wouldn't want Sanskrit to be the official language. So if we don't change the name of our country to Bharat, just because our main long-term goal is going to be eliminating English altogether, it's not going to work, or it's going to be a huge delay. But other than that, even if I agree with all your arguments, even then I would say Bharat is just too important a name to have. Okay, this is an important message that needs to go, that we are not having that thrice distorted word for a name for our country. Okay, सिंधु नदी से हिंदू नदी, इंडस, इंडिका, उसके बाद आया इंडिया. It's a 4-5 times distorted name. So please, Bharatvarsh, or even Jambudvip, name anything other than India. So and them not being able to pronounce is not a serious argument, right? I'm sure you were joking too. So उनको तो इंडिया बोलते हैं, वो तो इंडिया भी नहीं बोलते हैं, तो प्रोनाउंसिएशन वैसे भी ठीक नहीं होगा. तो बर्बाद ही बोलने दो. तो कल मैं एक स्वीडन का एक जर्नलिस्ट का कवरेज देख रहा था. यहाँ पे इंडियन के कम्युनिस्ट जो कि बिजनेस का स्पेलिंग भी नहीं जानते, बिजनेस वर्ड का, वो तो पूरा बोलते फिरते हैं कि ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बोला था मोदी जी ने. कहाँ हुआ ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट एज मच एज संदीप सान्याल वुड लाइक, नॉट एज मच एज अ लिबर्टेरियन वुड लाइक. तो व्हाई द फक शुड वी लिसन टू अ कॉमी अबाउट बिजनेस, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस? हाँ, उन चुतियों की वजह से तो आज तक हमारा ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस इस हाल में है. So anyway, so that Swedish journalist was asking another Swedish woman who I think works for the Swedish government, and so it's sort of a mediatory between all Indian government, Indian businesses and Swedish businesses. She's a Viking descendant lady. Her surname is also that something Sun, which is a Viking custom. So she is saying that Indian government, Indian political scene is basically pretty stable these days, at least in comparison to the rest of the world, and ease of doing business has increased so much. So she says ease of doing business has increased, but commies think ease of doing business has not increased. So anyway, she was also forced to say the word that she's saying that they have this great policy called the Gati Shakti plan. So Gati Shakti बोलने दो, उसके लिए हम थोड़ी वर्ड चेंज करके हाई पावर स्पीड इंडिया ऐसा कुछ नाम दे दे. प्रोनाउंसिएशन तो गलत होते ही रहेगा.
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि